Hello and welcome to Fox 54 News at 5:30. I'm Gabe Glassman. A Vermont man is behind bars after the Coleman County Sheriff's Office says he fired a weapon at road workers yesterday. James Sloan is facing multiple charges after shooting Coleman County Road Department workers on Country Road 1101 while they performed maintenance work. When the Coleman County Sheriff's Office arrived at the scene, Sloan attempted to flee from deputies who quickly stopped and captured him. Sloan's charges include aggravated assault, resisting arrest, and attempting to elude law enforcement. He's currently being held at the Coleman County Jail. And in Decatur, an unnamed 17-year-old juvenile is facing an assault charge after a shooting earlier this month. In a statement to Fox 54, the Decatur Police Department says the victim was shot at the 1200 block of Beltline Road before driving himself to the hospital, which started an investigation identifying the juvenile as a suspect. The unnamed suspect was taken into custody yesterday and is charged with assault in the first degree and will be charged as an adult. He's currently being held on a $20,000 bond. And we're going to stay in Decatur. A Kentucky man is facing drug trafficking charges after an investigation done with help with the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Eric Welton is charged with both trafficking in illegal drugs and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia after a search warrant was executed by the DPD and the Madison County Sheriff's Office at a Decatur hotel today. Investigators found 7.5 ounces of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. Melton is currently being held at the Morgan County Jail on a $5,300 bond. The Madison County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in locating a missing man in Hazel Green that Fox 54 has reported on. The person on your screen is Alexander Young, who has been missing since the beginning of this month. He's 52 years old and is described as being 5'10", around 175 pounds, and has green eyes and brown hair. This comes after Young's vehicle was found abandoned in Harvest on the 8th of this month. If you have any information about the location of Young, you are asked to contact Detective Eckerd at 256-523-4099. The Morgan County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in identifying the person in this video you see on your screen. The Sheriff's Office says the driver of the car ran through a fence, causing damage at a home on Kirby Bridge Road in Danville. If you know who this person might be, you are asked to contact Lieutenant Gary Landers, 256-560-6194. Let's take a look over in Florence. Beautiful blue sky off the river there. We're now joined by Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, Thursday night football action kicks off soon. How is the weather looking for it?
Yeah, weather's going to be wonderful across all of North Alabama, southern and middle Tennessee. Remember this time 24 hours ago, we were talking about some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley, some of which were packing a bit of a punch. That's definitely not the case tonight. Radar looks nice and quiet this evening. Now, we are on the warmer end of the spectrum. 91 right now in Huntsville, 92 in Athens, 91 in Decatur, 90 degrees right now in Coleman, even up across southern and middle Tennessee. Temperatures are currently sitting in the 90s. But we are going to begin to see temperatures drop off over the next couple of hours. Look at this. By 7 o'clock this evening, we should be sitting in the low and mid 80s across the Tennessee Valley. Upper 70s at 8, 79 degrees, 76 by 9, 74 degrees by the time we get to 10 p.m. We're going to maintain a mostly clear sky as we head into the middle and later part of the evening. Now, normally, as we head into the overnight, that would mean we'd be talking about some patchy dense fog, but there's not a lot of moisture to play with in our atmosphere, but that could end up changing as we head into your Friday night football forecast. Could look a little bit different. We'll talk about it in great detail here in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Jordan. The Alabama Department of Public Health announcing today that a North Alabama child that was infected with measles is now recovering. Dr. Scott Harris making the announcement today, adding there has been no evidence of transmission connected to the case. Harris adds the importance of making sure your children are vaccinated so they can fight against the disease. City leaders held an ice-breaking ceremony today to mark the start of a major expansion at the Huntsville Ice Sports Center. $38 million project will add new rinks, seating, and amenities to meet the growing demands for hockey, figure skating, and curling.
Crews are getting ready for the expansion of the Ice Sports Center, which will more than double its size. The plan includes a brand new competition arena, more than 1,200 seats, and a fourth rink dedicated to curling. It's a move city leaders say will meet the growing demand for sports, tourism, and local recreation. The facility has operated at full capacity for years, leaving little ice time for new programs. The expansion will also bring updated locker rooms, a mezzanine, and a new entrance for fans and teams.
There will be nobody in North Alabama or Southern Tennessee that's going to have 3 sheets of ice and 5 dedicated curling lanes. So we're going to be the only place between Nashville, Birmingham, Atlanta. We'll be right in the middle. We'll be able to attract people from all over to come here, spend their money, stay in our hotels, and it's going to be wonderful tourism for the city.
Construction is expected to wrap up by early 2027. Until then, the Ice Sports Center will continue to serve skaters and families while expanding its footprint. Officials say the project will help put Huntsville on the map as a destination for ice sports across the Southeast. In Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
The 32nd annual Trail of Tears motorcycle ride is set to kick off this weekend, and the Huntsville Police Department is asking for drivers to be prepared. The motorcycle caravan is expected to arrive in Huntsville city limits around 9 a.m. via Highway 72 West, and will have a state trooper escort before stopping for lunch on Exit 3 on I-565, before continuing on Mooresville Road to rejoin Highway 72. HPD asks that drivers prepare for delays and use alternate routes on Saturday. Right now, the streets of downtown Decatur packed with school spirit. Austin High School's homecoming parade taking over nearly 3-mile stretch of road in the River City, but a very special person is leading it all. Let's bring in Fox 54's Kenesha Dees. She's live at that parade. Kenesha, who is the Grand Marshal this year?
Well, Gabe, I am excited to tell you that this year's Grand Marshal for the Austin High School Homecoming Parade is 16-year-old Alice Hoabu. She just passed by. This parade is just underway, but I'm going to tell you why this is so important and why Alice has the heart of a champion. As you can see in the box next to me, there is a group of ladies supporting Alice. They are the Austin High School dance team. They are on 2nd Avenue at Princess Theater because Alice was a dance team member. Now, here's why this is so important, why she's Grand Marshal, why there's so much support. It's because Alice is battling melanoma, a skin cancer. She's been battling it for 4 years, and right now she's at stage 4, but she's not letting that stop her. She's living life to the fullest, living out loud. I even spoke with her mother yesterday, Elena Hoabu, and she tells me why Alice is an Austin Black Bear through and through. Let's take a listen. Outside the Hoabu home in Decatur is a sign of hope. Inside that home,
she's been an Austin Black Bear her whole life.
Are signs of hope and happiness.
This is Alice putting on makeup.
Alice Hoyabu's mom, Elena, says Alice is like a lot of 16-year-old girls. She loves to be on her toes.
Alice has been a dancer since she was a 2nd grader.
She's into sports.
She also loves NFL football. Alice is a huge Bengals fan, loves Joe Burrow.
And a certain singer, too.
So let's see, where is the Taylor Swift one? Here it is, right here. It's one of her favorites.
Alice even traveled across the pond to see T Swift in all of her eras.
We really enjoyed that. It was like the end of a cruel summer, I guess you could say.
Cruel summer in the middle of a 4-year battle.
You see the commercials about St. Jude, and you never think that your kid is going to be one of those kids. Like, you never think that.
Alice was diagnosed with melanoma, or skin cancer, in July of 2021. She's now at stage 4, and the family says she's endured countless treatments. That put a halt to some of her favorite things.
Alice was on the Austin dance team until she couldn't do it anymore.
But cancer couldn't stop the community's love for Alice and her family.
When they asked if Alice could be the Grand Marshal, it just felt really special. Alice felt very honored by that.
Her mom is an English teacher at Austin High School, and the family simply couldn't refuse. Alice will be leading this year's homecoming parade as the Grand Marshal.
It's another way that the community kind of is wrapping their arms around us and saying, we love you and we're here for you. So it means a lot. I feel God's presence in the hands of the people that are supporting us and lifting us up.
Elena says her family will continue to live out loud for Alice.
we're not going to stop planning for things in the future.
Inside their home and out.
So that's kind of that's how we live with it day to day.
This parade is still going strong, starting off at Grant Street, ending at Church Street. And this is just a moment to really take capture. Alice, she is strong, she's brave, and there's so many people supporting her. We actually spoke to her. You can hear the crowd behind me. We actually spoke to Alice earlier today about what this means to her. We'll have that later on tonight at 9, live in downtown Decatur. Back to you all at the studio.
Thank you, Kenesha. All right, coming up next, President Trump designating a controversial group as a terrorist organization, and the White House is cracking down on so-called left-wing violence. After the break, we'll tell you why some are saying this has gone too far. And a group of students in Huntsville are getting hands-on experience in the banks. We'll talk about it later in the show. President Trump saying he's had enough of left-wing violence, so he's cracking down on the groups he says are responsible. But some critics say he's going too far. Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson has more from Washington.
Antifa is terrible.
President Trump just made it official. He's designating Antifa a terrorist organization, calling the group, quote, a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster. The president making the announcement in a social media post, adding, quote, I will also be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices.
These aren't protests. These are crimes, what they're doing, where they're throwing bricks at cars of ICE and Border Patrol.
President Trump has criticized Antifa for years, but this designation comes as the White House works to crack down on left-wing groups accused of promoting violence. But there are some concerns it could be going too far. On Wednesday, ABC announced it's pulling late-night host Jimmy Kimmel off the air, following comments he made about the killing of Charlie Kirk, after the network was pressured by the FCC.
There's much more to freedom of speech than just the law, right? There's nothing that says that an employer can't limit what their employees are saying, but the government can't.
Some critics say the Trump administration's pressure crosses a line and could be unconstitutional, but most Republicans are standing behind the president and say there's no censorship campaign underway.
We do not censor and silence disfavored viewpoints. People in America are allowed to say crazy things.
President Trump says he wants to bring racketeering charges against Antifa organizers and their financial backers. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
And earlier today, members of Congress announced the start of a congressional investigation into the indefinite hold of production of Jimmy Kimmel's show. Students in Huntsville are learning more about financial literacy by getting some experience as bank tellers. More about this coming up. Jordan?
Weather for Thursday night football looks fantastic across North Alabama, Southern, Middle Tennessee, but will it be equally as fantastic as we head into your Friday? We'll talk about it in great detail here in just a couple of minutes.
Chicks.
Well, last fall, a special donation put dozens of guitars into the hands of Madison City students. The instruments were part of a gift of 100 guitars through the program Concerts for a Cause, with Madison schools receiving about half of them. It's all part of the district's continued investment in the arts, ensuring students have access to music and visual programs across every grade level. Superintendent Dr. Ed Nichols says these opportunities are far more than an extra.
The arts are as important as anything that we do. They're part of our curriculum. But arts in general help students develop better cognitive skills, but it also teaches them self-confidence and gives them an outlet for creativity. We love to bring technology in. The world is getting more technology, but at the same time, that opportunity to use your mind in a different way or just to relax a little bit.
Dr. Nichols says that support for the arts is here to stay, with every elementary school now offering full-time art and music, and even more options growing at the middle and high school levels.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the FOX54 Weather Impact Team.
And let's get a live look over at Drake Mountain. We could see more of that beautiful end of afternoon shot there. Looked great. Looked a great Thursday.
No, it was a fantastic Thursday. Gabe, I had a core memory pop in my head. You want to know what the only musical instrument available to me was when I was in elementary school? And by elementary, I mean pre-fifth grade.
Okay, what was it?
It was the recorder. You remember? Did you ever have to play the recorder?
I never had to play the recorder as a kid. I played a lot of in elementary school, played a lot of violin.
Oh, look at you being fancy. The rest of us are over here playing our $20 recorders, and you're over here playing the violin. Can you still play the violin?
No, gosh, no.
That's
you know,
a letdown.
Yeah, that I can't play an instrument. I'll just stick to my day job, as I like to say.
But at one point, you did have some sort of musical talent.
Maybe, yes.
Maybe Gabe could play the violin. Beautiful evening out over the Parkway. We're looking northbound on Memorial Parkway. Plenty of sunshine. It's difficult to find much in the way of any cloud cover, and we're going to maintain that lack of cloud cover through the rest of the evening and then even As we head into the overnight, radar looks nice and quiet this evening. Now yesterday, this time 24 hours ago, we were talking about some stronger thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley. That's definitely not the case this evening. Fantastic news because we are playing a number of high school football games this evening. Though we are definitely on the warmer end of the spectrum. Look at this, 91 right now in Huntsville, 90 in Florence, 89 in Scottsboro. We're sitting at 87 in Albertville, and a pair of 87s for both Pulaski and Fayetteville up across southern and middle Tennessee. But over the next couple of hours, temperatures are going to begin to drop off a little bit. 83 at 7 o'clock this evening, 79 at 8, 76 by 9, 74 by 10. We're talking about a mostly clear sky through the evening as well. Really, I think it's going to be a wonderful evening for some Thursday night football. Limited opportunities for rain in the forecast over the next couple of days. Small opportunity on Friday. We'll talk about that in just a second. Small opportunity on Saturday, dry on Sunday. Better opportunities for rain build into the Tennessee Valley as we head into the early and middle part of next week. Our best chance for rain definitely going to build into the Tennessee Valley by the time we get to next Wednesday. Let's talk about the drought monitor. Came out today. It was put together on Tuesday, came out today. Abnormally dry conditions have expanded across North Alabama, southern and middle Tennessee. And then we're still talking about moderate drought conditions back across northwest Alabama. Is there still a reason to be overly concerned? Not necessarily, because we're abnormally dry. We're abnormally dry every single September without fail. But if we don't get any rain in the semi-near future, I think drought conditions could worsen as we head into the middle part of October. Here's Futurecast at the lunch hour on Friday. We're dry across the area, but look what happens as we head into the later part of Friday afternoon, early into Friday evening. A couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible across northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, and then down into Franklin County. Everybody else is going to be dry. So if you're attending a high school football game on Friday in northwest Alabama, bear in mind that there's a small opportunity for rain in the forecast. Rain stays in the forecast then as we head into Saturday morning and even through the course of Saturday afternoon, but the weekend is not going to be a complete wash. Much of the day Saturday is still going to be dry. Off to the tropics we go. We're talking about Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Gabrielle is having a very difficult time getting itself together, maintaining winds of just 50 miles per hour, has had very little movement over the last 24 hours and a minimum central pressure of 1,004 millibars. Maybe some patchy fog develops as we head into the overnight. I'm not necessarily counting on that. It would be a very isolated thing. Temperatures drop into the low and mid 60s. Got a low right around 64 degrees. The school bus tomorrow morning, beautiful. 70 at 8, 77 by 9, 83 degrees by the time we get to 10 a.m. Have a good look at the next 7 days. 91 on Friday, a pair of 90s both Saturday and Sunday. Plenty of sunshine this weekend. Really is going to be a fantastic weekend with the small opportunities for rain. Like I said, better opportunities for rain build into the Tennessee Valley next week. We are going to begin to drop off temperatures a little bit, 89 on Tuesday, but then mid 80s by the time we get to next Wednesday and Thursday.
Thanks, Jordan. Local students are getting the chance to manage some finances, and not just their own. It's part of a Redstone Federal Credit Union program that puts a functional bank branch in high schools around the Tennessee Valley. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us the latest one out of Mae Jemison High School.
Jemison High School just opened up the first Redstone Federal Credit Union branch in Huntsville City Schools. It's currently designed as a class to help students learn how to manage a working bank branch. The goal is to teach financial literacy, both to the student tellers and students who bank with Redstone. But it's a functional branch with deposits, withdrawals, and loan payments available for students and teachers. District 1 Councilwoman Michelle Watkins says it's a huge boost for students in her district, and they hope to bring more branches into the fray, with Redstone FCU watching over the in-school programs. According to the class's teacher, Toya Bell, it's going to help high school students transition into real-world finances.
This will actually just put them ahead of their peers. Just being educated on those things before they go into the real world and people, come and trying to attack them here. Because I always tell them about going to college. They come in with credit cards, and, you can get one here and there with no job. But, this is important. All of this is important, and they should know it going into the real world.
The branch is opening immediately. Student tellers are now learning the ropes before their peers start banking with Redstone. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Amazing opportunity for those local students. Hey, Auburn's first conference game of the year will pit the Tigers against Oklahoma. It also means that Jackson Arnold will face his former team. We'll talk to both parties about that next.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Hey, sports fans, Saturday will be a big day for Jackson Arnold. The starting quarterback of Auburn is leading his team in the battle against the squad that he used to play for. Auburn versus Oklahoma is one of the marquee games of the weekend in the Southeastern Conference and across the nation. Both the Tigers and Sooners, they're 3-0 with convincing wins over a Power 4 non-conference foe. Many will tune in to see how Arnold handles himself against his former squad. The Auburn QB was not made available to the media this week, but his teammates shared their thoughts on his mindset.
I'm definitely excited to go out there and fight for him. I think we all are, and honestly, I think it's just like any other game. You know, he's preparing, we're preparing. We're just treating it like every other week, going step by step. The next opponent is just the next opponent.
He hasn't really mentioned anything too crazy, but he knows we're all excited to get out there. And of course, my first SEC game, so I'm excited to get out there as well.
During his time in Norman, Oklahoma, Jackson Arnold found success as a starting quarterback of the Sooners. He even led OU to an upset victory over Alabama. However, near season's end, he made a decision to hit the transfer portal and eventually landed at Auburn. Arnold had a long conversation with Sooners head coach Brent Venables about the decision to leave. Venables had no ill will towards the quarterback, and he's actually glad to see him be successful.
Obviously, things have worked out well for him and us both. But those are things are never easy. But it's just the environment that we're in, and I'm really happy for him that he's having great success.
Auburn plays Oklahoma in Norman for the first time ever this weekend. Kickoff is set for 2:30. The Sooners lead the all-time series 3-0, including a 1972 and 2017 Sugar Bowl